Hi everyone, my name is Manny Katari. I'm a clinical associate professor at New York University, and today I'm going to show you how to install R and RStudio on your Mac. So to install R, we will go to one of the two links provided here, specifically the crandproject.org that has the different versions of R that we can install depending on what operating system you have. Once we install R, there are many different ways of interacting with R. One is using it on the command line. So if any of you are familiar, it's like opening up the terminal window or your command prompt on Windows and typing in commands in a black box, which has its advantages, but you have to have a lot of knowledge of a lot of the commands that are already there. R also comes with a user interface that makes it easy. It's called the R GUI, and it works pretty well, and many experts in R are actually very comfortable using it, and they choose to use this for their work. But I'll tell you about RStudio, which I have found very helpful in using or doing my R analysis, but also teaching R. And one thing to note about RStudio is that it doesn't come with R itself, which is why we're going to install R first and then RStudio. Okay, so let's begin by going to the crand link, and here you will see the different installations of R based on what operating system you're using. So we'll just click on download R from Mac OS, and of course we'll pick the most recent one here. Okay, so while this is downloading R, which might take a few minutes, let's go back and let's also start to download RStudio. Now RStudio has lots of different products. There is Shiny, which we're not going to be using, but it allows you to set up your R code in a web interface. There are specialized packages that they also have available. We're just going to download RStudio. And even within RStudio, there are two different versions. There's a desktop or a server. Most of us are going to be using the desktop version, which allows us to do R analysis on our own computers. But for those of you who have access to a server that you want to share with the others in your group, you can actually install R on the web and give people access to your powerful computer, and they will be able to run all their analysis using the web interface, which actually feels just like the desktop version of R. So we'll click on RStudio Desktop, and there are free versions and commercial license. So we'll just download the free version here. And here I'm going to select the Mac OS 10. Okay, so let's see if R finished. It's got a few more minutes. Okay, so I actually have already downloaded this, so let me just go here. Once you click on that button, you will get this window, which will allow you to install R on your Mac. I will choose to install it for all the users on this computer. Great. Another thing I want to show you while we just install R is we can actually a different way. So if you open up your terminal, and if you just type in capital R and enter, you'll see that we've installed R, and this allows you to very easily just simply write commands. But you'll notice that there are no buttons, there's nothing that you can click or edit or create files. It makes it much harder, but it's more efficient to work this way. Similarly, now that we've installed R, we also have the R GUI, which looks like this. So here you have a window, you have a couple of buttons here that you can use to open up a window for your graphs, your history, some colors for your console, create new scripts. For example, I will type in the command print hello. So this is nice because it has the color coding based on this. And I'm just holding down the command button now and pressing enter, and you see that it quickly executed it by itself. So this is very nice. It does make it easier to use R. However, I want to also show you RStudio, which makes it even nicer. Okay, so now we will install RStudio just by dragging it into applications. I'm updating it because I already have a version of RStudio, which is fine. Okay, click open, and you get RStudio. So you'll see that here's the console that's opened up right away. There's a couple of other things. There's also this window that tells you all the variables that are present in your environment, the history of all your commands. It gives you a glimpse of all the files in the directory that you're working in right now. Saves all the plots once you've created them, easy access to packages, the help section, and also you can create a new R script that allows you to type in commands here, just like we did in the other interface. And now I'm just holding the control button and pressing enter, and executes in the prompt. So now we have R and RStudio installed. Check out the other videos for more instructions on R.